I didn't actually understand what the word humanity meant, and I did a bit of research about it. My main understanding is that it's to do with compassion. That relates to all social organisations need to be compassionate.
I was laughed at by my GP who just laughed and said, "Oh, you don't have autism. There's no pathway for diagnosis."
It's tough being a carer. I do get emotional and I do get upset sometimes, and sometimes that's not helped by the services around us.
To feel uncared for, it makes you feel like, what's life about? You know, it makes you feel worthless.
I had breakdowns. I was twice suicidal in A&E, and the psychiatric nurse who interviewed me had not a shred of empathy. He admitted he knew nothing about autism, and he dismissed me in the middle of the night, around midnight, twice.
It's the right about of friendliness. You want that impartialness, you want that enthusiasm, encouragement. You want to know and understand yourself what the confidentiality is, because it's about sensitivity.
I think it's a two-way thing, actually. I don't think it's just reliant upon the different organisations. It's also representing the service users. Both need to have a compassionate, human relationship to each other. Most
staff are dedicated individuals and want to do the best as individuals. But when the services come together, they're bureaucratic, or it feels that way to families. You know, processes and policies and procedures take over. And I think sometimes there's a loss of the sense of that there's a human being at the end of that, and a family.
And people just don't realise. Sometimes I understand they don't realise unless they've been through it themselves, how can they? But you can try and realise and have the empathy for what somebody's telling you, you know, like when you know that they're genuine.
Empathy goes with humanity, and if we're not listened to, if we read reports that don't describe us at all, we know we're not being listened to.
Primarily, it's important to care about people. And if you lose that, especially in a situation where somebody has a mental health condition, or someone like myself who, you know, tries very hard to look after my own mental health, but, you know, has lots of responsibilities, you know, you've just got to stop. Professionals have just got to stop and take account of that.
There's no point talking like this unless a continued programme of change happens, and that will involve a culture change. It'll involve listening to users, treating us as equal, a human being speaking to a human being.
That's the one thing that caring for and caring about, and being very committed to that, not for it to be an afterthought.